and straight line winds can do as much damage as an EF1 and sometimes even an EF2 tornado. So I don't want people to say, oh, well, it's just straight line winds, we're fine. That's not the case. If you are in northern Berkshire County right now, this storm is headed your way. It's got a lot of strong wind with it. That is what is indicated right here on the First Warning Live Doppler. So please be on your guard. Stay inside and stay away from windows. It is our policy here that we stay on the air until a tornado warning is expired or it is canceled. We actually have a new tornado warning now. This is the third. The first one came in a little after 7 o'clock.
Rain, rain, go away, come again some other days, all day long.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people in the beginning of the month, it's time to pay the check. You know what I mean? After what we had with a gorgeous stretch. But right now, it is anything but gorgeous out there. By the way, there's also a severe thunderstorm warning off to our north and west throughout Montgomery, Fulton, and southern Hamilton counties. Don't mean to ignore you folks, but this right now, it takes precedence. So let's take a quick shot of this storm as it continues to move a little bit farther now to the east and southeast. It's taken more of a turn. I would expect that the Weather Service will probably extend this tornado warning into Litchfield County in Connecticut, but we will continue to track it until it is out of our area. A little batch of showers this afternoon, and then this that just kind of showed up here as we headed through about the 9 o'clock hour. I was watching this on the radar and going, geez, that's really something else, and starting to see some of those things really blossom out. So I just looked out the door off to the east, and sure enough, a couple of lightning flashes. And as of right now, let me just double check and make sure that these warnings, this tornado warning is gone. It is. So there are still there's some flash flooding concerns.
Yes,
we had some issues out in Scotia with a lot of water coming down across Route 5. And then again, with the winds, I'm going to be watching these wind reports coming in all night long, basically, especially in the eastern Rensselaer and northern Berkshire counties where we haven't seen them yet.
And if there are any more warnings.
And now let's get a check on that first warning forecast with meteorologist Jason Gough.
Hi, Jess and Jim, and a very good evening to you. We've got some showers that are making their way in from the west. Nothing terribly heavy at the moment, but right now we do have some showers that are extending from the southern portions of the Adirondacks back across the Mohawk Valley into the Schoharie Hills and out 88 from there. But as we expand the view out a little bit more, some real nasty weather making its way through western New York State. Fortunately for us, it's taking more of a right-hand turn and heading into Pennsylvania. So this is something that we will not have to deal with tonight, although we could have to deal with a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there and a quick burst of some rain as we roll on through the overnight hours. So what's the word into the morning? With the rain in the overnight, still a couple of leftover showers. That's what we'll have to deal with in the morning, but they'll be moving out and the humidity will be on the rise as we head through the morning, and summertime will show up. So our bus stop forecast characterizes that. Again, scattered clouds around with a few leftover showers. Temperatures, though, into the low 60s, so certainly we'll call that mild and muggy. Well, the humidity will stick around, but we will be anything but mild as we wrap up the work week. So we need to get into all the details on that, and also the opportunity for some severe weather exists tomorrow afternoon. I'll outline what you can expect and when, and what we might have to deal with those storms, too, all coming up.
Let's go straight to meteorologist Jason Gough with those details. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Jess, and a very good evening to you. Indeed, we're tracking some pretty decent showers and thunderstorms now that are making their way in from central New York State. And before I stop this loop here, I want you to notice the last couple of frames. See how these storms are starting to fire up just to the south of this line? That is what we're going to continue to have to deal with as this gets a little bit closer to us. So as of right now, what Jess was just mentioning, the 3 counties that are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30, so about another 50 minutes or so, all of Hamilton, Fulton, and Montgomery counties. Undoubtedly, these warnings will be expanded a little bit farther to the east as this line progresses to a little bit farther to the east as well. But some pretty gusty winds coming out of these. Also some very heavy rain, perhaps even a little bit of hail now in northern Otsego County based on that little radar return right there. So it's been a relatively quiet day thus far. The evening will not end up very quiet after all is said and done. We'll be tracking this line that'll be making its way through. After that, almost on cue, fall shows up for just a little while. Have all the details in your forecast back in just a few minutes. Start to get into a little bit more squally weather here as the eye of Irene approaches the coast of New York City. I want to tell you what our trip entailed today. We came from the station this morning. We made our way over to Springfield. Our original goal was to make it into downtown. We passed by the Basketball Hall of Fame. Really no damage that we could see there, but we certainly passed a lot of tree trucks and fire trucks. Downtown was hit hard. There were a lot of National Guardsmen there, a lot of Massachusetts State Troopers there as well. Our photographer and I, Matt and I, climbed up on a roof
actually, and had a nice aerial view of the downtown to be able to see what the devastation was. We saw a demolition crew taking down buildings, and doing so rather quickly because they were afraid of them collapsing on their own. They made short work of that. But this neighborhood, though, Benita and Jim, is remarkably different. There are a lot of people that are walking around just sort of in a state of disbelief, as you can imagine. Pictures never do justice to the amount of devastation that's around here. We've got trees down on houses. Backs of entire houses are just gone. We talked to one fella just up the road here who said that he lost part of his house from a deck that had flown off another house from down the street.
Now, your first warning forecast with meteorologist Jason Gough.
You want to talk about a lightning photo? Check this out. This was actually taken Saturday night down at Queeman's Landing from Yanni's. So probably out on the deck there, maybe having a little bit of their good calamari and looking out over the Hudson River. But look at that shot there by Jeff. That is a wonderful photograph from Saturday night. And undoubtedly some more opportunities to get some lightning pictures here tonight. Of course, just be careful doing so. Storms getting ready to move through. In fact, they're just now coming into the western areas of the News Channel 13 viewing area. I'll show you those coming up here in just a second. After those storms move through, though, and another little upper level disturbance comes through here tomorrow, we're going to get back into a bit of cooler weather as we get into the middle and even end of the work week. And the tropics, just as a little side note, getting a bit more active as you might expect for early September. We'll, of course, keep you posted as things get a little bit more frisky in the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. Temperature trend, temperature staying into the 70s as we head through the day here tomorrow, Wednesday, but dropping down into the low 70s and high 60s for both Thursday and Friday before jumping back up again into the low 80s as we head into early next weekend. But right now we've got a lot of 70s around with a cloud cover in place. A beautiful picture right now from Pittsfield on the National Grid first warning cam there. 74 degrees with a light breeze out of the west. 1 inch on the nose of rain having fallen earlier today, but everybody's going to pick up in a little bit more rain as we head deeper into this evening as those storms get ready to move their way through. About 77 right now up at Saratoga. Things quiet after the track coming to a close out there today. Here's how things are shaking out now. The surface map showing area of low pressure. A couple of little frontal boundaries extending to the south of that, and that is what's helping to drive this. And of course, dew points right now are in the upper 60s and low 70s, so plenty of fuel around to enjoy, if you will, with all these scattered showers and thunderstorms that have now made their way out of central New York, getting ready to come right into our area too as we head a little bit deeper into this evening. Everybody will get in on a little bit of rumble of thunder and have some pretty heavy rain coming out of this as well. And as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, especially down toward the end here, this line is starting to develop a little bit more, so another little piece of energy helping to enhance some of this shower and thunderstorm activity. So this will swing through here. It'll move through at a fairly decent clip as we head through the next couple of hours. But still, again, you'll know it when it comes through. Lots of heavy rain and, again, a fair amount of thunder and lightning coming out of this as well. So as we head into this evening, starting at about 6:30, just a little while ago, pushing things through by about midnight, things will be quieted right down again. We're going to keep some patchy fog around in spots, some scattered clouds. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, after the morning commute, everything will still be nice and quiet out there. Notice, though, quite a bit of cloud cover in place. And as we head deeper into the afternoon and into early tomorrow evening, a couple little spotty showers around with some of that cold air aloft. Nothing like what we're going to see here tonight, but still something to be aware of. So for tonight, 63 degrees, showers and storms tapering off late. We'll still call it muggy and mild out there with a bit of patchy fog. 75 tomorrow with some morning sun. Mostly cloudy thereafter with a few spotty showers around. And then as we head into our 7-day planner, as I mentioned, temperatures making their way up into the 70s as we head through the balance of the work week. Into the weekend, though, we'll stay into the low 80s. That's the wrong 7-day planner. I don't know how that got in there, but I'll show it to you again at the end of the newscast.
Yeah, I thought it looked fine.
You know what? I'm going to blame it on my depression that the track is.
Yes.